I work part-time as a delivery driver for a popular food delivery app. It's nothing fancy. It's just enough to help pay for my rent and classes. Most nights are pretty uneventful. Long stretches of driving, dropping off bags at doors, and maybe a few awkward encounters when a customer actually wants to talk. Nothing I couldn't handle. It was late fall when this happened. Chilly, dry air, streets covered in fallen leaves, and darkness that feels thicker and heavier after daylight saving time ends. I had been driving for about 5 hours and decided to do 1 or 2 more deliveries before calling it a night. Around 10:45 p.m., a new order popped up on my phone. Simple: a burger, fries, and a shake from a 24-hour diner downtown. The address wasn't far, only about 15 minutes from where I was. I accepted it without a second thought. The customer's name on the order was Samuel D. Nothing unusual about that. The address pointed to a suburban street lined with old colonial-style houses. I'd been around that area a few times. The house itself looked normal enough. It has 2 stories, a brick exterior, and a porch light flickering slightly. One car in the driveway was a silver sedan that had seen better days. A little rundown, maybe, but nothing that screamed danger. I texted the customer that I was pulling up. No response. It's not unusual either. Sometimes people were busy. Sometimes they just didn't care. I grabbed the paper bag and a shake, walked up the front steps, and rang the doorbell. A few seconds later, the door swung open, and a man stood there. Mid-40s, thin, slightly hunched. His skin was pale, almost grayish under the porch light. He had messy dark hair and bags under his eyes, like he hadn't slept in a week. Still, he smiled, a tight, strained smile, and thanked me. His voice was low but polite. I handed him the food. He took it with both hands, nodding, and mumbled something like, "Been a long day." I gave the usual, "Have a good night," turned around, and left. Standard interaction. I thought nothing of it. I started heading back toward the main road, thinking maybe I could squeeze in one last order before midnight. About 10 minutes later, just as I passed a gas station, another ping came in. New order. I glanced at the screen. Same diner, same items. Burger, fries, shake. Same name, Samuel D. Weird coincidence. But when I checked the address, it was the same house, exactly the same. At first, I thought maybe it was a glitch. Sometimes the app would mess up, double send an order or something. But the order timestamp was new. 11:02 p.m. Maybe the guy was drunk. Maybe he dropped his food and needed a replacement. Whatever. I accepted the order. After all, it was close. Easy money. I picked up the second bag at the diner. The cashier gave me a weird look but didn't say anything. When I pulled back up to the house, the porch light was off. The only light now came from a small lamp in one of the upstairs windows. It was colder, the kind of cold that bites even through a jacket. The neighborhood was dead silent. No wind, no rustling leaves. Just my footsteps on the cracked driveway. I rang the bell again. Nothing. I waited. No footsteps. No sounds from inside. I knocked this time. Still nothing. Maybe he fell asleep. Just as I was about to leave the bag on the doorstep and bail, the door creaked open. But this time, it wasn't the same. The man stood there again, but different. His smile was gone. He looked hollow. His eyes were wrong, wide, glassy, staring past me rather than at me. In that same low voice, he said, "I didn't order anything." I hesitated. "This is the address listed," I said, trying to keep it professional. "You're Samuel, right?" He just stared at me for a long moment. Too long. Then he smiled again. But it wasn't like before. It was wrong. It was like a bad actor trying to fake being friendly. "No," he said, and shut the door. I stood there for a second, dumbfounded, bag in hand, heart thudding harder than it should have. Something about the whole thing was gnawing at my gut. Still not wanting trouble, I placed the bag on the doormat, took a quick photo for proof of delivery, and got the hell out of there. Driving home the whole way back, I couldn't shake the feeling. The way he looked at me. The way the house seemed darker somehow. The silence. It wasn't just weird, it was wrong. The next day, I tried to forget about it. I went to class, went to work, and did everything normally. Around lunchtime, I got a text from Kyle, a buddy of mine who also did deliveries part-time. It was a screenshot of a news article. Local man found dead in suburban home. Estimated time of death, 2 to 3 days earlier. I froze. The address listed was the same one from the night before. The photo in the article shows the man. It was him. Same messy hair, same pale face. Except, if he had been dead for days, then who the hell opened the door to me? I didn't know what to do. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't call the cops. What would I even say? That I delivered a burger and fries to a dead man? No one would believe it. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe someone else lived there. Maybe a relative who looked eerily similar. But no. The article mentioned that he lived alone. No family, no roommates. The coroner estimated he'd been dead since Sunday night. Almost 3 days before, I delivered food to that house. A few nights later, unable to sleep, I returned to the app's delivery history. I found the first order to that address. Order completed at 10:55 p.m. And then the second one. Accepted at 11:02 p.m. Completed at 11:18 p.m. My delivery photo was still there. The upstairs window barely lights the brown paper bag on the doormat. But I noticed something I hadn't before when I tapped to enlarge the photo. There, standing behind the window on the second floor, half hidden by the curtain, was a figure. Watching. I stared at it for a long time. Maybe it was just a trick of the light. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But deep down, I knew. Someone, or something, was in that house. Something that answered the door. Something that smiled with a mouth that didn't know how to smile correctly. For weeks after, whenever I pulled up to a new delivery at night, my heart would hammer against my ribs. I couldn't stop picturing that hollow face, that cold stare. It made me rethink doing night shifts altogether. Eventually, I stopped delivering food altogether. Got a different part-time job that didn't involve strangers' homes or dark doorsteps. But I still wonder sometimes. When people die, do they always stay dead? Or do some of them not realize it right away? Still walking, still answering doors, still ordering dinner. Even now, sometimes late at night, when I drive past empty houses, I swear. Sometimes I see a porch light flicker on by itself, and a shadow moving behind the curtains, waiting for the next delivery. Before we dive into the next story, if you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. Your support truly encourages us and helps this channel continue to grow. And don't forget to share these stories with your friends and family. Thank you.